Welcome back. What we want to focus on for a moment is not just the big numbers, but also the implication, the national implication. Shiv Sena now saying the arrogance of Mr. Modi has cost them the elections. Sanjay Saraf, national spokesperson of Lok Jan Shakti, the party which hasn't done well, sir. You're looking at your numbers. You've struggled. You have just won 4 seats. You did so. You got... No, as of now, we have, as per our numbers, you have just 4 seats. Either way, it is much less than what you got in the Lok Sabha, where you swept. In fact, you got what? 6 MPs? 8 seats. Sorry, you have 8 now, but you had 6. You have half a dozen MPs. So you've done badly.
40 tickets.
Who are you going to blame?
42.
Who are you going to blame? Do you blame Modi like the Shiv Sena does?
No. Why we will blame Modi or NDA? It is not like that. We all have campaigned properly.
I'll be honest with you. मैं आपको एक सही बात बताऊंगा, आपको बुरा ना लगे. मुझे जहां मैं बिहार में गया, कहा कि लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी और कुशवाहा जी ने टिकट ऑक्शन किए, जिसके पास पैसे थे उनको टिकट दे दिए. ये मैं कह रहा हूं, मुझे कोई एविडेंस नहीं है, लेकिन ये कहा गया अक्सर.
अगर कुछ भी कहा जाता है इलेक्शन में, तो देयर हैज बीन लॉट ऑफ दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स कि कांग्रेस ने बेचा, आरजेडी ने बेचा. इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. जिसको सीट नहीं मिलता है, दे यूज्ड टू स्पीक लाइक दैट. भाई मेरी जगह उसको दिया गया. ही हैज बीन.
नहीं सर, लेकिन इतना बुरा परफॉर्मेंस क्या हो गया? 16 महीने में जो पार्टी स्वीप, आपने कितने सीट कॉन्टेस्ट किए थे लोकसभा में? 7, और 7 जीत गए. 6 जीते 7 में से. अब आप आते हैं 8-42 में से. कुछ तो हुआ है. क्या हुआ?
देखिए, whatever has happened, honestly, it has not worked whatever the way we were campaigning. Our concept was, NDA was very clear for the development issues and other things, and their issues were related to Mandal, Kamandal.
सर ये तो हो गया सर. मैं आप नहीं मानते कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने एक तरह से लोकल लीडरशिप को एम्पावर नहीं किया? कोई लोकल फेस प्रोजेक्ट करना चाहिए था. पासवान जी हो, उन्हें प्रोजेक्ट करते या सुशील मोदी जी को प्रोजेक्ट करते. लगता है ये गलती हुई या नहीं?
एनडीए ने अभी तक कहीं पर भी इस टाइप का परसेप्शन नहीं किया. जहां पर भी, जहां जितने भी इनके इलेक्शंस हो गए, वहां पर दे हैव नॉट सिलेक्टेड द लीडर.
तो क्या वजह? एक वजह अगर मैं पूछूं आपको कि आप इलेक्शन हार गए, वन क्विक आंसर क्या है?
People have voted them. They have not seen where in Bihar there are 64.8 youths. More than half of the Bihar, it is youths, and youths have selected. What we can say? The youths have not seen for the development. They have not.
The same
youth.
Those who 18 months ago voted for you.
If they would have voted for we people, then we would have.
Now you've got competition for development from Nitish.
You know that's
what the youth has done.
Just a minute. I think that's an interesting point that I want to develop. The same youth, in a way, who vote for Narendra Modi possibly in the general election, choose Nitish Kumar in the state election. This is my thesis, which is Modi for PM, Nitish for CM.
I disagree completely.
You disagree completely, and that's good. You must disagree. That's the nature of a tolerant democracy. Exactly. Emphasis on the word tolerant. I'm just going to Sanket, who's been standing by. Ek minute. Sanket, just give me that map again. The reason I'm going back to the map is I think it is telling a story. Magad and Mithila, the old Bihar, has gone with Nitish Kumar, and I will hazard a guess that this is because they see Nitish as having done something, whether rural electrification, whether roads. Give me that big map once again to tell us where exactly has the JDU scored this big victory, because it's now crossing 151. And my sweepstake figure, let me finally reveal it, is 156. So at 156 is when I win the entire office sweepstakes. Let's go to you, Sanket.
Rajdeep, take a look at this map. Bihar's map is up on your screen right now. You can see that this is as much as the saffron wave is going to go. From what we were saying or showing, our figures were showing in the morning, they're actually, it's right here, they're actually down 12 from 2010. It's the JDU combined, and the real success story this time around as far as the elections are concerned. How I wish I could differentiate between the RJD and JDU in terms of coloring here is the RJD. They're ahead of the JDU. Lalu Prasad Yadav's party dominates more of the green that you see over here. As far as the Mahagathbandhan is concerned, the others are at 7. They are now plus 12 from what they actually got in 2010. Let's break this up. You were talking about regions. We'll break this up in phases and also talk regions. Phase number 1 on the map right now. You can see that BJP plus the BJP Gathbandhan has got only 11 here. They're down 2 as opposed to 2010. The JDU combined 37, majority going to Lalu's party, up 3 from 2010. The others are at 1. Remember, this is an area where the left has been quite dominant, particularly the CPI. One doesn't know whether this others is actually the left or not. Phase number 2. Let's load phase number 2 on the screen right now. That's phase number 2 for you. BJP gets 9 out of the 32. They're down 2 seats. The JDU gets, JDU RJD combined gets 20. They are up 1, the others 1. Phase number 3 now on your screen. Let's load phase number 3. There you have it. That's phase number 3 on your screen right now. Out of the 50 seats, Rajdeep, 13 go to the BJP combined. JDU combined gets 36, up 7 seats from 2010. Phase 4, narrating a similar story, and phase 4 and 5 were traditionally known to be, by the BJP, by their own admission, something where the Mahagathbandhan is going to do well. Phase 4 has 24 for the BJP, so they've technically not done all that bad. JDU has leveled, the Mahagathbandhan has leveled its score from the last time around. Remember, 4 and 5 were their bastion. The others are at 5 up 2. These others are, in fact, Rajdeep, let's not ignore them. They are going to be very, very crucial for any political dispensation, particularly the Mahagathbandhan. Phase 5 on your screen right now. The stronghold of the RJD and the JDU, and the map tells it all. If you look at the map, it'll tell it, it's a tell-all sign. The saffron is only sprinkled, but it's largely green, which basically reflects that there is a green wave as opposed to a Modi wave in the state of Bihar. It's back to you, Rajdeep, as this map goes back in.
Fascinating, and it almost is a reversal of what many of the expectations were. The Simanchal area is not a dominant area. The real dominance has been Magad and Mithila. That is the story in a way of this election. Below the Ganga in particular is where the BJP hasn't done as well as it might have hoped, and that is a story within a story. Our correspondents are waiting up at the RJD headquarters, but I just want to go and tell you a tweet that Mamta Banerjee has sent. Remember, she is also now part of this so-called federal front that she hopes to form with Nitish Kumar. And this is what she has tweeted. My eyesight not good enough, but congratulations Nitish Kumar ji, Lalu ji and your full team and all my Bihar brothers and sisters. Remember Bengal. Who else has tweeted? Mr. Kejriwal. They're all coming out. All the anti-Modi forces are suddenly emerging out of the woodwork.
And they will unite behind Nitish.
Okay, so I think that's an interesting thing. Ashok, you're saying you think they'll also... Are we seeing, Ashok, the emergence of an anti-Modi alliance?
Yes.
Possibly.
You see, you are
With
seeing...
Nitish as a leader.
One by one, please. One by one.
Yeah, I want to come in on this.
Yes, I will.
As I said, the long road to 2019 has begun with this.
Long road has begun. Ajit?
Absolutely. Nitish Kumar was the biggest enemy of Narendra Modi even when he was becoming the candidate for Prime Minister. He's proved it, in this battle in 2015. Look at the next polls. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, BJP is not going to win. Bengal, BJP is not going to win.
But Assam, they may win.
And Assam is probably the only one where there might be a change. So what I'm saying is, yes, Nitish is today emerged as the biggest alternative to Narendra Modi if they form a national alliance, a so-called national secular alliance, along with the Congress, along with the RJD, and possibly other regional parties like, for example, Mamta, Kejriwal, and others.
Okay, yes. Javed just joined us. Javed, do you believe that you track these parties? There's so many contradictions within. Look what happened with Mulayam Singh. Just before the elections, he had joined this. He even sent Shivpal Yadav for that big meeting that was held at Gandhi Maidan in Patna, and then ditched the alliance. They've been wiped out. NCP fought on their own. Do you really believe these forces can actually come under Nitish's as pride? Let's be honest. Will they really? Bihar was a different case study.
The only reason they can't possibly come together is out of compulsion, because they realize if they fight separately, they'll all be vanquished. Lalu came together not out of love for Nitish, because he realized there was no other option. So perhaps circumstances might force them. Although there's a lot of time between now and 2019, a certain gentleman at Vikramaditya Marg in UP might be resenting this, and I'd be very interested in knowing how many seats did the SP save its deposit in Uttar Pradesh. Before every elections, he has these great ambitions of becoming Prime Minister. What will the likes of Mr. Sharad Pawar do? I'm not ruling it out, but it's not entirely easy.
Okay, I'll get you it. Surji, we've got a long day ahead. Everything's going to come. Poor Rahul Kawal is fighting his way through all these celebration shots. So I want to just go to him, Rahul, for a moment. What's happening, interestingly, Rahul, there's a battle within a battle between JDU and RJD. Take a look at the numbers as they stand, Rahul, at the moment. And I want to get you on this. JDU is 66, RJD is 71. RJD now, Rahul, is ahead of JDU. Do you see any implications of that at all on the ground? Is the RJD looking now much more in control compared to the JDU, or am I imagining things? We're trying to get to Rahul. I don't think Pawan Verma is still with us. I think he's left us. Because he's been going. Pawan Verma has been jumping from channel to channel, so it's tough to pin him down on that. But is there a story in that? Manisha, is there a story? 66 plays 71?
This does mean that Mr. Lalu Yadav will have a lot more control on the government in Bihar than is expected. It does mean that the popular support and the vote, remember, even the 66 that the JDU may have got, the support of the RJD vote bank may have been critical for Mr. Nitish Kumar. So it does seem that Mr. Nitish Kumar will be the chehra, but the vote and on the ground politics will be controlled by the RJD and Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav in a very strong way. So it is indeed the comeback of Mr. Lalu.
Can I go back? Ashok, I'm trying to get to the RJD headquarters as well as the JDU headquarters, because a lot of the action that is there. Smita Sharma will also be joining us from the RJD headquarters. Okay, Surjit, I stopped you. I'm sorry. Go ahead now.
No, all I want to say was that when we are comparing Nitish as a possible leader or
Yes.
evaluating it,
Yes.
remember, he is the closest
Yes.
to Modi in terms of development.
Yes.
He promises development, has delivered development,
Clean image.
all of those things. So therefore there is not a single other leader, and he comes from a big state,
Yes.
if you will. So there is no other single leader who comes even close in the opposition
And he has no family.
to Nitish,
Yes.
and therefore this is, and they've seen the math work. They've got to be beyond stupid not to get together.
No, that's one thing, but there are internal contradictions. They will also, because I keep wondering whether, we use every state election as if it's a referendum on the center. And part of the problem is Mr. Modi himself. By campaigning for, and as many as 40 rallies or 30 rallies, high octane campaign, he makes himself vulnerable to the kind of charges that are being made by his opponents. Yes, Ashok.
See, it was a big gamble for Mr. Modi, and frankly, it hasn't paid off. We were speaking about Rajiv Gandhi this morning. And if you remember in 87, Rajiv Gandhi invested heavily in the
Yes.
West Bengal election against
Yes.
Jyoti Basu.
Yes.
Because the Congress had done well in the Lok Sabha election, he invested very heavily,
Yes.
and he came a cropper, he lost.
Yes.
And that sort of began the second half of Rajiv's term, which wasn't very happy, more challenging in the first half.
Yes. Yes.
So the other thing is, Nitish has the potential to lead a broader coalition. Of all the social justice bundle leaders, he's probably best placed.
Because of the kind of person he is.
And the final thing is, remember, Lalu may actually be encouraging his national ambitions, because that will mean Bihar goes back to Lalu.
But it's interesting. The left, for example, contested on their own, almost as a fourth front. NCP contested on their own. So everyone wants to test the waters. All this now, logic is coming post-poll. Will they all be willing to accept a leader like Nitish Kumar if this election is the road to 2019? Will a Mulayam ever accept a Nitish? Will a Mayawati accept a Nitish?
Which is why all of this is, to a large extent, wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking of the anti-Modi front.
Because, when come election time 2019,
Yes.
if this is the scenario in Bihar where Lalu has a significant presence,
Yes.
I am not so sure that Lalu will cede territory. That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, there are other regional players across the country who would also like to put their oar in. There's no doubt about it. And the third thing is that if BJP wants to have a local face, a regional face,
Yes.
they must begin now. It takes 5 years to develop a face.
That's an important point. But Rita Bahuguna Joshi, if this was a general election, would Rahul Gandhi be willing to cede space in a Bihar to a Nitish, to a Bengal, to a Mamta, to a Mayawati or a Mulayam in UP, to maybe even a Sharad Pawar in Maharashtra? Or does the Congress still believe it is a national party and these are all regional parties? Has that balance changed in Bihar? Are you going to go back to Panchmadi, where you agreed that you needed to form coalitions?
And local
Doesn't have a
leadership.
choice.
Right now we are enjoying the victory of the Grand Alliance of the Mahagathbandhan. And it's a victory for Nitish's his good governance, his clean image,
Right.
but it is also victory of the fact that the people of Bihar and India have rejected. They have rejected the idea of a communal and divisive India. They will not accept.
No, you didn't answer my question, ma'am. My question was, you didn't answer my question. Are you willing to accept Nitish as Neta number 1 for a national election? Yes or no? I don't want a long answer, straight answer. Or is Rahul your Neta number 1?
See, of course he is. He is the leader of the Congress party, and in this Grand Alliance he had a very important role to play, as you have seen. So the Congress party has a very definite view that we will not allow the communal forces, the RSS and the BJP
Will you accept
to
Nitish
divide
as
the
a
nation
national
in your
neta
team.
number one? Is Rahul
He
a
is
national
already
leader
a
or
national
Nitish the
leader
national
in his own
leader?
way. He is already a national leader. We have accepted him as the leader in Bihar.
Okay.
Now coming to other issues, right now we are in a frame of mind
I want to-
that we have to stop the communal politics of
So
BJP.
stop Modi
And
at all
it's a
costs. I get it.
referendum on
I get it
BJP,
now. No,
please.
just a minute. Ma'am,
It's a
so no,
referendum
just a
on
minute.
BJP.
This is a referendum. Just a minute.
Because they were selling dal at 220 rupees and talking about development.
Okay.
There was no employment.
Dal.
no
Okay, the
engagement
dal
of the
factor.
people.
We said it was
Right
one of
from
the X
Dadri
factors.
to
Ma'am,
Pakistan,
just a minute.
they were making,
Ma'am,
hyping up communal issues. So why don't you see this as a victory of liberal forces? Why don't you see this as a victory of progressive forces? And other things will come in later.
Okay,
This is for
let's
the
leave
top
it there, ma'am.
leadership to decide
Ma'am,
how they move on.
let's leave it because I think we'll come to the breakdown, including the woman factor. I'm going to make a hazard a guess when the CSDS post-poll survey comes, when Cicero comes up with his number, women outnumbered men in voting for Nitish. I'm going to test this, of course, with the actual numbers. But Rahul, you've been standing by. We were trying to get through to you earlier. The mood at the moment, RJD is ahead in the race with the JDU. Is there a sense that the RJD now believes this is their moment even more than the JDU?
We are currently at the RJD offices here, and RJD Karyakartas have completely taken over the roads. I want to show you what's happening. There are big firecrackers that are going off, very huge bloodies, thousands of them. They've taken over the roads. There's a big truck of posters that's been brought. You see that truck over there? That's got posters like this. महागठबंधन की महाविजय पर बिहार के लोगों को जय. I want to take you inside the RJD office also and show you what's going on the inside. They've completely taken over the roads. They're dancing, they're celebrating. Here inside the RJD office, they've put up big screens. They put up big screens. They're watching the election results like a T20 encounter. And as the anchor announces that one of their candidates is in front, they start celebrating. अच्छा, लालू यादव की पार्टी, आप लोगों की पार्टी तो नीतीश से भी आगे है. नीतीश से आगे है तो कोई बात नहीं. हमारे लालू यादव ने और नीतीश कुमार ने, राहुल गांधी ने संयुक्त रूप से कड़ी मेहनत का यह परिणाम है. वो आगे है तो हमें खुशी है, हम उनके साथ हैं. जनता ने महागठबंधन को अपना जनमत दिया विकास के लिए. ये बिहार की जनता की जीत है, आम पब्लिक की जीत है, और ये मोदी जी की हार है. पता चलता है ये पूरा हिंदुस्तान मोदी का सीना 56 नहीं 36 का नहीं, बहुत डाउन हो गया है. देख मोदी का ध्यान नीतीश कुमार मुख्यमंत्री. Okay, let's try and see if we can walk our way out to the roads where they're holding up traffic, they're celebrating, they're giving laddus to whoever is crossing, and all the laddu walas and the pataka walas have set up their shops outside the RJD offices. Now here is the scene. Right, very close to the RJD office is the JDU office in Patna, and Karyakartas of both the parties are dancing together on the road. अच्छा, बहुत सालों के बाद आरजेडी को एक बार फिर से सत्ता में आने का मौका मिला. नहीं, बहुत सत्ता में रहा ही सब दिन गरीब गुरुआ. आरजेडी सब दिन सत्ता में रहा है. लालू का आवाज सब दिन जिंदा रहा है, मतदाता जिंदा. अच्छा, ये बताएं, अगर आरजेडी के ज्यादा एमएलए हैं तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि चीफ मिनिस्टर आरजेडी का होना चाहिए. ये नहीं, चीफ मिनिस्टर तो हमारे नीतीश कुमार ही रहेंगे. आपको मंजूर है? पर अगर आपके एमएलए ज्यादा है तो सीएम आपका भी हो सकता है. नहीं, हमारे लालू राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ने पहले ही ऐलान कर चुका है कि हमारे सीएम नीतीश कुमार ही रहेंगे. आपको उम्मीद है कि डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टरशिप मिलेगी आपकी? नहीं, हम लोग को पूरी उम्मीद है कि तेजस्वी यादव है, वो नया फेस है, जो युवाओं के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं. तो हम चाहते हैं, हम युवाओं के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं, युवाओं के लिए जज्बा है. वो ऐसे भी बोल चुके हैं कि हम लालू यादव नहीं है, मेरी सोच अलग है, मेरी बुलाने का. तो हम लोग की पूरी है उम्मीद है कि तेजस्वी यादव को डीएमसी ये गरीबों की जीत है. और मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि जितना दिखाया गया वैसा कुछ था नहीं. हम लोगों की जीत हुई और हम लोग पूरे बहुमत से सरकार बना रहे हैं. गरीब Okay, so as you can see, It's a huge spectacle of festivity. Diwali has come 2 days early, and right behind us where the BJP office is, it's completely desolate. Even the few party karyakartas who were there this morning, they've all gone back home and are wondering what they'll do with all the mithai and the firecrackers that they've piled up. But the real festivity is here. The RJD office has been rather forlorn for several years. Now you can see the josh that victory brings. This is a victory for Bihar. This is a victory for Bihari and Slam RSS and BJP and Modi government, because they have not done any kind of work. It's been more than 2 years and they have not done any kind of work. So we want to tell, every Bihari want to tell, we are with Mahagathbandhan. We are with support with Mahagathbandhan. And you will see, this is the election which will go for Delhi. This is the politics which will go for Delhi. Modi will be slammed back. This is the Bihari record. With this, for the time being, I take you back to the studios. The celebrations here are a bit of a health hazard. There are crackers that are going off all over the place. But these people have waited for a long while. हाँ बताइए, आपके हिसाब से तेजस्वी को डिप्टी सीएम बनना चाहिए क्या? बनना चाहिए, बनना चाहिए, डिप्टी सीएम बनना चाहिए. That there will be no deputy chief minister, at least he will not need Tejasvi as his chief minister. These people are hoping that one of the family members gets to become chief minister, deputy chief minister in Bihar. With this, for the time being, I take you back to our studios, Rajdeep.
Now, that's an interesting thing. What has been this aggression? I think this has been the fear that some have had, the return of Yadav Raj. Let's be clear. Is there that fear of a return of Yadav Raj, yes or no? You know, Manisha, you said there will be already a list of darogas and a list of DMs as well as officers on the ground. And this has been a fear. Clearly in this election, if these numbers hold, the EBCs, the extremely backward castes, the Ati Pichdas have stayed with Nitish to a large extent. But they also have the fear of the return of the dominance of the Yadavs. Will that be one fear and one challenge in a sense for the new government?
No, that is indeed a challenge. The Dalit and Mahadalit combination separation, in fact, was a fear of the Paswans. So that was something that Mr. Nitish Kumar had played even in his last innings. So there will be a fear of the Yadavs. There will be a fear of dominance within the backward, so to say. And this alliance is going to play up on those. Remember, it may be a governance on the top, but at the bottom, there's a lot of stuff that goes on.
You know, that's the worry, of course. And this is the the tough task begins. And this is the last chance.
Look, we'll be tested.
As political analysts who have our hearts to the truth, remember that's where we see it tick with the people.
Yes.
I would think that the EBCs are also looking at something which is an era of peace. They say it's Nitish who gave them peace for the last decade. That's something they would want to continue, and that's something for the new government definitely to take to heart.
Rajdeep,
yes.
if Nitish has to have a chance in 2019, it will depend on how he conducts himself in office from now to 2013.
Yeah.
To 2019, yes.
2019.
Yes.
If people start running riot, if there's, if you start seeking vengeance, if it brings back the
Yadav Raj.
the Yadav Raj, it will then he can,
So he has effectively 4 years to prove himself, and this is the toughest challenge in a way.
And remember, throughout, he's behaved like a statesman.
Absolutely.
Throughout the election, he's behaved completely like a statesman, which is what India lacks, which is what India needs, and that's why he'll be more than a challenge to...
Quick words before I take the
The Yadavs are regaining power in a sense after 10 years. So
Yes.
I expect they'll also be a bit chastened. That's one. Second.
In rural Bihar, I get no sense that the Yadavs are chastened. They will see that they are empowered.
Fair enough, but remember the last time Nitish and Lalu were together, in the mid-1990s, Lalu was way ahead, Nitish was sidelined. Today, Nitish is much more of an equal partner, maybe a bigger player.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yes, Ajit.
The other point is, you see, the biggest achievement of Nitish Kumar was the way he controlled crime in Bihar. Bihar used to be so violent during 90s. Today, Bihar is a peaceful state. It's not anymore what it used to be. Now the point is,
Bihar suddenly turned criminal, or that
I don't think today's Bihar is very different. It's looking for extraordinary.
But to blame it entirely on Lalu and that before Lalu things were right is
in
not
fact,
true.
the slogan that won the Bihari
This is therefore, as even the LJP is saying, litmus test. This is Nitish's ultimate test. Now you've got someone whom you want. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's an opportunity. In this challenge is a huge opportunity, Dipankar.
If Nitish and Lalu get
Yes.
along well
Yes.
and do a good job,
Yes.
then they can claim a position in the center.
Yes.
It all depends on this.
Yes.
And how they conduct themselves the next 4 years,
Yes.
5
Things are
years.
very difficult.
And
Yes.
then
Those
only you
things
can
are
talk
very
about
difficult.
whether or not they make an impression at the central level. Not only that,
Yes.
whether or not their combination will be an inspiration for other states.
Yes.
So a lot depends on these two.
Okay.
Nitish must not make the mistake that Mr. Narendra Modi
Modi
made
has
after
made.
coming
That's
back.
Okay.
He has to rein in the loonies.
He has to rein in. He has to rein in the fringe in a way. He will have to prove also that he is not an arrogant leader. Power must make you modest. That's the lesson, maybe, that there are the elements within the BJP who must learn, whether it was in Delhi or in Bihar. Every election in India is different. It's like you're playing different elections on different pitches. One formula, one size doesn't fit all. That's one of the many lessons of this Bihar election. The Republic of Bihar has spoken out like never before and has delivered a quite stunning result at the end. At the moment, 157 plays 76. My office sweepstake figure of 158 is looking increasingly possible. Let's come back with a little bit more. Let's not hope they cross 160, then I'm in trouble.